Algebra 2. Welcome very much to this final edition of this episode on how to go from general to factor form. Okay, so we want to be able to go from general to factor form, right? And now we might try to write all the factors of 16, but we have to be kind of patient for a minute, right? We need to be careful here, right? And what I mean by that is we need to first think about our dilation, right? We have a 2 times x squared. We don't want this here, right? Ideally, our general form should look something like this, right? Where this is my dilation, and we have x minus r1, this is my root, and we have x minus r2, which is my second root. Ideally, this is what we would like to hopefully have. All right, so as we proceed in trying to make sense of this and how we can work with this, well, let's kind of try to work through and think about this a little bit better, right? So if we think this through, first thing we want to do is we want to pull out any common term here, right? Now before, this is confusing to you, just use the quadratic formula and use that to make sense of this, right? But I want to show you how to do this without the quadratic formula. First thing we want to do is we want to pull out the 2, right? So we know this is going to be x squared. Well, so we just divide everything by 2. This is 1, right? So we're going to get x squared. Negative 18 divided by 2 is going to give me the minus 9x. And then we're going to get plus, well, 16 divided by 2 is 8. Okay. Now that we've pulled out the 2 from everything, we're going to get y is equal to 2. Okay. And this is the great part about it, because now we can use this and basically turn that into factored form. And we actually did that in the previous video, right? We write all the factors of 8, which is 1 and 8 and 2 and 4, right? Well, can we add or subtract 2 and 4 in any way to get negative 9? Nope, we cannot, right? So that's not going to work. Well, what about 1 and 8? In last video, I told you we could try 1 plus 8. That gives me 9, but we want to get a negative 9. So we turn it both negative, and there you go. We're going to get negative 1 plus negative 8 gives me negative 9. So we'll get minus 1 minus 9. Now you can go ahead and verify if you want on your own terms. Verify, that's terribly written, that you will get back to this equation up here. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and do the next one. So just like before, go ahead and write this down if you didn't. Take your notes, right? We want to pull out the 3. Well, if we want to pull out the 3, we're kind of basically dividing everything by 3, so we can figure out what that would be. We're going to get x squared here, right? Well, 12 minus 3 gives me 4x, and then this 96 divided by 3 is going to give me negative 32. Okay, so now I'm going to write y is equal to 3. And I'll write, just like here, I'll write x. Alright, cool. Now, looking at this problem here, right, let's write all the factors of 32. 1, 32, 2, and what would that be? 6. 32 divided by 2. I can't believe I blanked there. Oh yeah, I knew it. 16. Alright, we get that. Oops, that's didn't draw it so well. Alright, now let's go ahead and do 32 divided by 3. Okay, it doesn't work. 32 divided by 4 gives me 8. 4 and 8. Okay, and I'm pretty sure, right, that that's pretty much it for our factors of 32, right? So can we add or subtract 1 and 32 in any way to give me the negative 4? Well, nope, that's not going to work. So we can go ahead, cross that off. Can I add or subtract 2 and 16 in any way to get negative 4? Well, that's not going to work either, so we have to kind of cross that off. And last but not least, can we add or subtract 4 and 8 in any way to get negative 4? Well, yeah, we could do negative 4, or 4 plus negative 8, which gives me negative 4, right? So therefore we know this should be x plus 4, and this will be x minus 8. And there we go. We have converted it into our factored form, right? And if you want to, go ahead and verify that this is true by using the distributive property. Okay, so there it is. That's how you use it. Again, if you want to, you could just use the quadratic formula if you're confused and you're not sure what to do, right? It's up to you. Have a great one. Take